A few years ago, knowing how to use a computer was considered a valuable skill. Today, it's normal. And over the next few years, the same thing is going to happen with AI. Right now, most people still think AI is just a tool, something optional, something tech people use. But eventually, using AI effectively will become as normal as using Google. And when that happens, the real advantage won't come from simply having access to AI, because everyone will have access. The advantage will come from the skills that become more valuable because of AI, and that's the part many people are missing. Because the future isn't just about what AI can do, it's about what humans need to become better at in response. So in this video, I want to break down the AI skills that will matter most by 2030, why some human abilities are becoming more valuable instead of less, and how people can actually stay relevant in a world where AI keeps getting smarter. One of the biggest misconceptions about AI is that it replaces entire jobs overnight. That's usually not what happens. What actually happens is, AI starts taking over specific tasks. The repetitive parts, the predictable parts, the parts with clear patterns. And once those become automated, human value shifts upward. For example, if AI can already generate summaries, reports, emails, and presentations, then simply producing information becomes less valuable. But deciding what matters, what direction to take, and what should happen next becomes more valuable. So the future belongs less to people who only execute instructions, and more to people who can think clearly, adapt quickly, and use technology intelligently. And that shift is already starting. The first major skill everyone will need by 2030 is learning how to learn quickly. Because the pace of change is increasing fast. Tools change, industries change, software changes. And AI accelerates all of that. In the past, people could rely on one degree or one skill set for decades. That's becoming harder. Now the advantage goes to people who can adapt continuously. People who can learn new systems, absorb information quickly, and update their skills without resisting change. And ironically, AI itself makes learning easier than ever. You can now ask questions instantly, get explanations simplified, generate study plans, practice skills faster. But there's a difference between consuming information and actually learning. The people who succeed won't just watch content endlessly. They will apply what they learn quickly, because adaptation is becoming one of the most valuable skills in the world. One skill becoming massively underrated right now is communication. Because as AI automates more technical and repetitive work, the ability to explain ideas clearly becomes more important. Think about it. Even if AI generates information, humans still need people who can persuade, simplify, present, negotiate, and build trust. And this applies almost everywhere. Business, leadership, content creation, sales, management. The people who communicate clearly often outperform people who are technically smarter, because ideas only matter if people understand them. And AI actually increases the value of communication, because when information becomes abundant, clarity becomes rare. People who can turn complexity into simplicity becomes extremely valuable. This might become one of the most important skills of all, judgment. Because AI can generate answers incredibly fast, but speed is not the same as wisdom. AI can provide options, recommendations, analysis, predictions. But someone still needs to decide what's the right move. For example, imagine a company deciding whether to launch a risky product. AI can analyze market trends, but it cannot fully understand human emotions, timing, internal politics, long-term brand perception, or uncertainty in the real world. That requires judgment. And judgment usually comes from experience, mistakes, pattern recognition, and understanding context. The people who can consistently make good decisions will become far more valuable in the AI era. This sounds obvious, but most people still use AI poorly. A lot of people treat AI like a shortcut machine. They ask it to write everything, think for them, summarize everything instantly. But the real advantage comes from collaboration. Knowing how to ask good questions, how to guide outputs, how to verify information, and how to combine AI with human thinking. Because AI is only as useful as a person using it. Two people can use the exact same tool and get completely different outcomes. One gets average results, the other gets massive leverage. And the difference often comes down to prompting, critical thinking, and knowing what good output actually looks like. Using AI effectively will likely become a baseline skill by 2030, similar to using search engines or spreadsheets today. One of the safest places to be in the future is at the intersection of multiple skills, because AI is very good at narrow tasks, but humans become harder to replace when they connect different areas together. For example, someone who understands business and technology, or psychology and marketing, or data and communication becomes much more difficult to replace than someone with only one isolated skill. Why? Because real-world problems are messy. They involve people, systems, emotions, trade-offs, and contexts. And combining skills allows people to see connections others miss. This is also why adaptability matters so much. The future probably won't reward people who stay extremely rigid. It will reward people who can move across domains and integrate knowledge together. One of the biggest misunderstandings about AI is that because AI can generate content, creativity becomes useless. But the opposite may happen. Because when everyone can generate content instantly, originality becomes more valuable. AI is very good at remixing patterns from existing information. But humans still play a major role in settling direction, creating meaning, understanding culture, and producing ideas that emotionally connect with people. Think about moves, brands, storytelling, entrepreneurship. People don't just respond to efficiency, they respond to emotion and vision. And in a world flooded with AI-generated content, people who can create genuinely thoughtful or unique ideas may stand out even more. So when people ask, what skills will matter by 2030? The answer usually isn't, learn one specific tool. Because tools will keep changing. The deeper advantage comes from building human abilities that become more valuable alongside AI. Learning quickly, communicating clearly, making good decisions, working with AI effectively, combining different skills, thinking creatively. Because the future probably won't belong to people who avoid AI, and it also won't belong to people who depend entirely on it. It will belong to people who learn how to combine human skills with technological tools better than everyone else. And the people who start building those skills now will likely have a massive advantage later.